here. Yeah, because I certainly wouldn't be out here making Dad do it. Hello friends, and welcome to another week in the life. Today is Wednesday, March 30th, and oh my goodness, we have had a busy morning. Please excuse Olivia's bird screaming. She's outside finishing up the chores, and the bird wants her, so he's gonna scream. But anyway, this morning we had to get up bright and early and drive, I don't know, 50 minutes to the endodontist, which is a root canal specialist, to have him look at Olivia's tooth. He took lots of x-rays. He took like a 3D imaging x-ray. They did percussive test, and I don't know what other tests they did on that tooth. It is still inconclusive whether she needs a root canal or not. The specialist, the endodontist, said he wasn't 100% sure what he was seeing. He said it could be basically nothing, or it could be her body rejecting the tooth. So they're going to send off the films to an actual tooth radiologist to have them look at it and look at it really carefully and give their opinion as to what needs to happen with her tooth. The dentist we saw today said that it's up to her. She could wait a while. I mean, depending on what the radiologist says, she could just wait it out and see what happens, because she's basically doesn't have any sensitivity in that tooth anymore right now. So we still don't know whether she needs a root canal or not. That's a blessing, because the root canals are expensive. Whew. Today's visit was like $380. Yikes. But a root canal is, once you get the crown and all that, it's pushing like $1,500, something like that. So we're still praying that once the radiology comes back and they'll say, we don't think it's anything to worry about, and so she won't have to have a root canal. We have to go back in a month just for a follow-up. It's free. This visit's free. The only problem is driving there, so it's not really free if you consider the cost of gas these days. And he also wrote her a prescription for amoxicillin for her to take. If for some reason it just flares up suddenly, starts getting swollen and painful and infected, she can get on that antibiotic right away, and then give him a call and they can get her in as soon as possible. Because he did say that sometimes it can happen like that, like just overnight. Go to sleep one night, wake up the next morning, and your face is all swollen and everything. So, to that end, we went to Walmart to fill her prescription. That's where we get our prescriptions filled. We had to wait on it, and while we were in there, of course, I had to look at the Pioneer Woman stuff, and I picked up a couple of other things, so I'm going to go ahead and show you what we picked up at Walmart today. So, you know, I can't pass up a little hedgehog whenever I see them. They're so stinking cute. So I picked up this little guy. He's going to go down with my little hedgehog collection. Picked up these florals. They were only 97 cents a piece, so I got 2 of each. Olivia needed a new water bottle, and this was only $1. Yes, it's plastic, but yeah, it looks like a fairly decent one, hopefully, for $1. I'm not holding my breath. I have been in the mood for a lemon candle for weeks now, and I didn't have one, so they had this there, and it smelled so good. So I'll be burning that today. I picked up some more florals to put beside my mother's grave and my brother's grave. When we were out there last week, their flowers were looking pretty pitiful, so we're gonna refresh those probably in May around Memorial Day or something like that. Dollar General doesn't typically carry anything that's very nice, so that's why I went ahead and just got them at Walmart. This is the Pioneer Woman stuff I got. I got some more of this shelf liner to finish out my plant growing stand. I needed to finish that project. And then I am in the need for spatulas, and this looked like a nice, sturdy, heavy-duty spatula. And of course, Pioneer Woman, it's so beautiful. And then we have a friend of my dad's is going to be giving us a bunch of her canning jars, and I don't know if the wide mouth kind, so I thought while I was in there I'd pick up this set of rings and lids for the wide mouth jars because I don't have any. So in case any of the jars she gives us are wide mouth, at least I'll have this little starter set to use until we can get some more. Like I said, I don't know what size jars they are. But anyway, we got this just in case. All right, that's my tiny little Walmart haul. This is the recipe I'm making for dinner tonight. I have never made this before, but it sounded good. And it's basically noodles. I'm going to be using home-style noodles. 1.5 pounds of ground beef. I'm using a pound of sausage instead. Onion and green pepper, finely chopped. Pizza sauce. Mushrooms, I'm omitting that because I don't like mushrooms. The rest of the family does, but I don't. Cheddar cheese, skim, and mozzarella cheese. Of course, I'll be using my dairy-free kind. And then some pepperoni. I'm going to go light on the pepperoni because I like pepperoni, but it gives me heartburn. So I'm not going to put as much pepperoni in, or I may just put more pepperoni like on half of the thing than the other half. I don't know. Over here I've got water going to cook the noodles. And over here I've got the sausage, getting it ground up. So I'm going to get the onion and the green pepper chopped up and get it put in with this meat and fry it all up together. And I'm going to chop the pepper and onion pretty fine because Travis is not a fan of green peppers or onions. But since I'm not putting the mushrooms in, it's got to be something besides cheese, noodles, and meat. Into a greased 9x13 pan, you put half the noodles, cooked noodles. You can use egg noodles, but like I said, I used these home style, like more Amish style noodles. Half the noodles, half the meat mixture, half the cheese, and then remember you're using 2 different kinds of cheeses. I think instead of putting the mozzarella in the middle layer, I'm just going to put all the cheddar. Instead of dividing it up, I'm going to put all the cheddar in the middle layer, and then I'll just put all the mozzarella on the top layer. You're supposed to use about a cup of each kind of cheese. And then you're also supposed to put a layer of pepperoni in the middle, but because, like I said, I can't do a whole lot of pepperoni, I'm just going to put the pepperoni on the top layer. So if I can pick some of it out if I need to, and just eat a few pieces. Like I said, I like pepperoni. That's not the problem. It's just my stomach doesn't like it. My mouth likes it. My stomach doesn't like it. So you just do a second layer. It's almost like a pizza lasagna, almost. And like I said, there would be mushrooms in this. You can put whatever your family likes on pizza. I suppose your imagination is the only, way to stop you from putting what you want on this. Like I said, I used sausage instead of ground beef. This dairy-free cheese is pretty good. It does not melt exactly the same as real cheese, and it doesn't get like stringy like real mozzarella cheese does. But it's okay. I mean, it's better than no cheese at all. Although Olivia and we have been known to eat pizza without cheese. And it's okay. And these are the pepperoni I'm using. And the dogs are waiting at my feet because they think they need a piece of pepperoni too. So I'm just gonna layer this on the top. Do you guys think you need a pepperoni? Do you need a pepperoni? Make it nice. Hey, that wasn't very nice. He's kind of a lunger. Now this is Sally's. You get back. Miss Sal. There you go. That's enough. No more for you. Then you cover this with foil. Put it in the 350-degree oven for 15 to 20 minutes or until everything is heated through. Everything is already cooked, so it just needs to heat through. Gloomy day. It's been raining since yesterday, and it's cold. It is cold. Welcome to the end of March, March 31st. I hope this doesn't mean our entire spring is going to be extra cold. Maybe I'm just getting impatient for warm weather.
and this was supper for Thursday night. Mashed potatoes with hamburger gravy. Actually, it was ground pork, but you know what I mean. Cooked carrots, some of those cucumbers that I had sliced up, as well as strawberries and grapes.
Happy Saturday! It's April 2nd, and it's my birthday. So I'm just gonna putter around today. I'm not gonna do a whole lot, but I will film here and there. I think mainly I'm going to feed my worms. I'm going to show you a little report on my plant stand and the plants that are growing on there. Give a little update on those. And maybe a couple other things today. I'm not really sure, but it's just going to be a relaxed day. I'm not going to do a whole lot. I didn't film for this video yesterday because we were so busy. We went over to the funeral home and ordered a headstone for my brother. Finally, it took us about a year. They were backlogged about a year to get in to even order it, and now it's going to be at least another 3 to 6 months because the monument place is backlogged and can't find any help. Isn't that the story of everything these days? But anyway, at least it's ordered, and we can look forward to that hopefully by the end of summer, if not sooner. What else? Oh yeah, and then yesterday I also filmed a cleaning video that you will see later on in the month of April. So yeah, I think the first thing I'm going to do today is kind of swap some of my plants around and kind of take all the dead leaves and stuff off. So let's do that today. So I turned this plant yesterday. You're supposed to turn your plants every so often because they, want to go towards the sun. And I noticed there was quite a bit of dead leaves on this that I need to get off. And I'm going to also trade places. I'm going to take this plant and I'm going to put it here, and then I'm going to put this plant over there. I think the reason why that one has so many dead leaves on it is because it's too crowded for one thing, and it doesn't get enough sun in that window. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to swap these plants around. I'm getting ready to feed my worms. This I keep the compost in my refrigerator because I noticed when I don't, it gets kind of yucky and moldy, and I don't want to feed my worms moldy food. So this has been sitting out on the counter for a while to kind of come back to room temperature. Now there's way more compost in here than I need to feed my worms, so I'm just going to take about half of this, and I have been blending it up with just a little bit of water because their bedding that they're living in is a little on the dry side, so when you add a little moisture to their food, it just keeps the bedding kind of the right moisture level. You don't want it too wet, you don't want it too dry. Plus, if you break the food down, they eat it a lot faster, and when they eat the food faster, that means it's not going to attract gnats or get stinky. Now, I've had my worm farm going for 3 weeks now, and I've not noticed any smell or any bugs or anything like that, so that's a good thing. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna get some of this. This is a mixture of potato peels, carrot, strawberry, and a few other things down in there. I'm gonna put a glove on because I just don't want to reach down in there with my bare hand. And I'm gonna get a good quantity of this out of here, and we're gonna get it all blended up for my worms. There it is. You don't want it to be like a liquid. You want it chopped up, and it's not too liquidy. I put maybe a half a cup of water in there. Yeah, I think I'm gonna add just a little bit more to it because I think they could eat just a little more than this, and then we'll take it down and I'll show you how I feed them. And then the rest of this compost I'm gonna take out and throw it out on our garden, and I'll wash the container out, put it back in the refrigerator, and we'll start it all over again and save stuff up for a week till it's next Saturday and it's time to feed my worms again. My sister suggested that I make some sort of a tag and hang it off one of these holes to remember which side I fed them on, because knowing me and my brain, I would probably forget. That was a super good idea. I fed them on this side last week, so I'm gonna feed them on this side this week. Don't know how many worms are still over here. Most of them have probably migrated over there where that food was, but I may see a few worms when I dig down in here. I'm just gonna dig down in and make a little trench. See a few worms. There's still a little bit of, see, this was before I started grinding the food up. It was a potato and it started to sprout. I'm gonna pull that out of there. There's a little worm. I'm gonna make a little, there's another potato sprout. That's wild. I wonder if I could plant these. Huh. So I'm gonna go ahead and dig a little trench in there. See, there's not hardly any worms over here on this side. Then I'm gonna dump this in. And let me scrape this out. I'll bring you back in a minute. All right, so I got it in there, and now I'm just going to bury it. Cover it up. That keeps it, keeps the smell down, and worms are very photosensitive, so they don't like light. So burying it also encourages them to come over. I'll just put the blanket back on, and then I will move my tag over here. This is just made with a paper clip and a little wooden tag that I had in my stash. And this lets me know that I fed them on this side this week. And that's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. Do you want to take a little peek on this side? See if we can see some more wormies. Oh yeah, there, look at that. There they are. They're still eating the food I put in there last week. I don't think I'm overfeeding them. Most of it's gone. That's just a big piece of carrot that was in there. But yeah, they're doing great. And then by next week, most of them will be over here on this side. And as promised, here's an update on my plants in my little growing stand here. These are those radishes and kale that I started a few weeks ago, thinking those were going to be my microgreen garden. And as soon as the weather gets decent outside, I'm going to transplant these out in our raised bed. They're doing really, really well. They could use a little bit of water, so I'll have to water those today. Then up here, I just transplanted these out of this little thing. The beets, they're still looking a little shocked. Plants get shocked when you transplant them. Carrots and red Russian kale. I had 2 plants that came up there. And then these are all green pepper plants that did really well. And then in here, I planted in the pods in the little cells where I had taken the green pepper plants out. These are sweet banana peppers, and they're just starting to sprout. And then back here, finally got some peppermint plants to sprout. Olivia's peppermint that she put in here never did do anything, so she can do what she wants with those peppermint. And then these are still just a few green pepper plants that I actually need to get transplanted, but I want to leave the dome on here for a couple more days until these banana peppers are completely out of the ground. But I had gotten this heat mat specifically for germinating seeds, and it has made a world of difference. It brings the temperature up just enough to make seed germination like the perfect temperature. So I'm going to get the dome put back on there, and once I get all of these transplanted out of here, I'm going to sow at least half a tray, if not a full tray, of basil seeds, because I've been doing some research about companion planting, and basil goes really good next to tomato plants. So I'm going to start a bunch of basil plants to plant next to my tomatoes in the garden.
And Olivia cooked my supper for me since it was my birthday, and I told her I wanted something taco-y because tacos are my favorite. So she made taco pasta salad, and it was absolutely delicious. And then she made me a strawberry bundt cake with chocolate frosting, and we served it with some fresh strawberries and Cool Whip on the side, and that was also so delicious. Olivia also painted this picture for me for my birthday. It is acrylic on canvas, and I placed it on my fireplace as part of this little vignette, and I think it turned out so beautiful. She is so super talented. And these are all of the gifts that I got from my family for my birthday. That cedar bird house, that cedar thing is not a bird house, a bird feeder. The brown round thing, that's also a bird feeder. And then I've got a heat gun that's supposed to dry paint and glue and stuff like that extra quick when you're working on craft projects. And the little ladybug is a crafting vacuum that you can use to clean up your workspace when you're crafting. Alright friends, I'm going to end this vlog here. It was not a full week, but it's already at 41 minutes, and I don't want to make my week in the life vlogs an hour long. I will just go until the time is around 30 or 40 minutes and then stop my vlogs. Typically, I think that's where people like to watch. They don't typically have an hour to spend watching a video. But anyway, I wanted to thank you all for spending this week with me, especially for celebrating my birthday with me. I had a really great week. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below, and we will talk to you all later. Bye-bye, friends.